Okay, it's recording. Ready?
Yep.
Okay.
Hello.
Hi.
We are
We're a couple of
a
therapists.
couple of therapists.
I'm Elizabeth. This is Scott. We're going to talk today about... What are we talking about?
Mental health, a guide to a psychologically healthy life.
Okay. What's that mean?
Well, I guess the question is why mental health matters just as much as physical health. Okay?
He likes to beg the question a lot.
I do. I beg a lot. I do a lot of begging around here.
He does not beg for anything.
I do beg.
Oh, man.
So there's
going to be a couple session after we're done with this.
I'll be begging to end it. All right. So there's parallels between mental and physical wellness. Both require daily habits, awareness, and support. Okay. So let's define things, I guess, right?
Okay. Yeah.
Right.
Sure.
So first, let's do a comparison.
Mm-hmm.
How would you define physical health?
You mean like my body,
Yeah.
like being free?
Like medically.
I would say being
Maybe
free of
health.
illness and disease, to me,
Okay.
means is
Okay.
what we look for when we're thinking about being physically healthy.
Okay.
Being in good physical health.
Yeah.
The absence of
Yeah.
disease.
All right. So we talk about medically, it's the absence of disease.
Yeah,
right?
and you don't just want the absence of something.
No.
You also,
Right.
and the ability to function well.
Right. Okay. And how do we do that for physical health?
How do we do it for our physical
Yeah.
health?
How do we maintain a hopefully disease-free life?
Yes.
And also be able to do the things that we want to do.
Diet, exercise,
Okay.
preventative work,
Yep.
going to the doctor, getting checkups, making sure everything is okay.
And that all takes intention,
Yes.
right? Awareness,
Uh-huh.
right? Okay.
Okay.
All right. So now let's define mental health.
Okay. Oh, me again?
Yeah.
Okay. Mental health, well, I think it would be the same thing. The ability to cope well with the experiences of life, experience the myriad of emotions. I was thinking about this earlier because I knew we were going to talk about this. And I think sometimes people think that because an emotion is present, it means they're not doing well, right? So because something happened and I feel sad means I'm not okay, which really I think it's the exact opposite.
Yeah.
If something terrible happens, you're supposed to feel sad.
Very
So I think being able to experience all of the emotions and cope and be able to sit with them,
Yeah.
be
So
able to think.
right. It's a great point you bring up. The emotions, right?
I do that occasionally. You're not in the camera. Come back over here.
Oh, sorry. You guys really need to see me. The emotions are part of our overall mental health, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So you said a lot of our clients, and a lot of even us, we feel something, we feel an emotion, and we assume things are bad.
Right.
Right. Now, let's compare that to medical or physical health. So we go to the gym,
Yeah.
right? Work out hard. The next morning, we're sore,
Yeah.
right? Do we assume what we just did was bad, or we're currently bad because we're sore?
No.
No. So why do we take these moments that are brief, right? Brief periods of strong emotion and assume it's bad, I'm bad, or something needs to change, right?
Because it's uncomfortable.
Because it's uncomfortable.
It's uncomfortable.
Right. Now, when you wake up sore in the morning from an extra hard workout, are you going to snort oxy because you're sore?
Don't snort oxy.
Please don't. Disclaimer here, right? No.
This is not medical
No.
advice. This is for educational purposes.
We tie that soreness into an experience we had.
Yes.
We learn, we understand it, we're aware of it. We're not running away from that soreness all of a sudden without understanding it first,
Yeah.
right? We need to do the same with our emotions, right? So our mental health,
Oh, my bad.
she said she was going to silence it, but she didn't apparently. So we have to take these emotions and pause for a bit and become aware of them,
Yeah.
right? Because it may not mean as much as we think they mean, but we have to understand them first.
Yeah. To that same point, I think too, like if you think about pain, discomfort as an indicator of something that's happening, if you are feeling something physically, right? If something is manifesting physiologically, you're going to go seek out medical advice, right, from a doctor to say, is this normal? Am I okay? What's going on? I think the same, right, when we think about mental health, being mentally healthy, the same
Yeah.
is true here.
Yeah.
If you find yourself plagued with something, some kind of a discomfort, anxiety, whatever, that it's more than what seems normal or appropriate for your circumstances, or even not, it's just life is crazy right now and you need some help, then too, I think that's when we go and we seek out the help of a therapist, counselor, social worker, whoever that professional might be, coach, whatever.
Right, exactly.
All right, what do you got here?
All right, so mental health, physical health, I keep bringing up the two because they're, we act towards them very differently. We look at them differently, yet I'm not sure why, and that's kind of what we're explaining right now. So mental health, physical health, we have physical illness, and then we have mental illness, okay?
Yeah.
So let's define illness. Illness, a disease or a period of sickness affecting the body or mind, okay? All right, so a mental illness is a disease, let's say, of the mind, right? Physical illness is a disease of the body, right?
Yeah.
Right. So what are the components that make up mental health that will affect mental illness, whether we have it, whether we get it or not?
So we're talking,
What are things that maybe we're not doing, or the things that have happened in our life that contribute to mental illness?
that was a lot of questions in
It was.
one.
Yeah.
Okay, because the first thing I thought you were asking is what makes up the components of what would make mental illness. So I'm thinking like cognitive functions, thinking, feeling,
Okay.
that kind
Okay.
of stuff. But then you said something else, and that sounded like another question.
What affects the chances of us getting a mental illness?
Oh, lots of things.
Okay.
Okay, stress,
Stress.
environment, genetics, relationships, childhood, attachment,
Okay. Biology. Did you mention
biology. I said genetics.
that? Genetics. Okay. All right.
To me,
Use that
it's all the
interchangeably.
same.
Yeah. No.
But I think biology, that could mean something different than genetics, right? Because if you
Yes.
snort a bunch of oxy,
Yes.
as we said earlier,
Yes.
it's going to affect you
Yeah.
biologically.
But, and what I was trying to get to is, it doesn't sound a whole lot different than the things that would affect our physical well-being and physical illness, medical illness, does
Yeah,
it?
yeah.
So why, again, are we treating these two differently, right? Right?
Yeah.
So but with the neither of these things, along with physical health, mental health is on a continuum of wellness, right? This is not I have this or I don't, right? Now there's certain diseases, yes, you have or you don't, but we have this continuum of I am flourishing in life, I'm doing very well, right? To have some hiccups here, then I'm struggling, and now I have a full blown crisis,
Yeah.
right? Again, same continuum for physical or mental health. Okay?
Okay.
All right. Let's talk about change. How do we get better? How do things change for our physical health? Let's start there.
Usually you have to do something.
Take
Take action.
Take responsibility. We use that word a lot.
Ugh, yes.
Responsibility, right?
Yeah.
No one else is responsible for you and your health,
Sure.
right? Right. So, physical and medical health, we eat better, exercise, sleep, right?
Take your medication as prescribed.
Yep, yep. Now, how is mental health any differently? We have something called neuroplasticity in our brains, right? Which means that the neurons grow, they die, they change, right? So change is possible when it comes to mental health. We see it all the time.
Absolutely.
You see it on a daily basis in maybe very small forms if you're aware.
Yeah.
Our moods change based on who we talk to, right? How much sleep we get, right?
If we had our coffee or not.
Exactly, right? So change is possible, okay? Now, hygiene, mental health hygiene,
Okay.
okay? What's your physical hygiene? None. I know, see this little pig pen, yeah.
Brush my teeth every day, shower every day, exercise every day, do something to be
Yeah.
active.
Yeah. And she does all those.
Go outside, just be outside.
Yeah. Now,
Eat,
you know, the big thing
sleep.
with yeah, sleep. So the big thing is with physical health, 21st century, we talk about diet a lot, right? What we eat, right? What we input into our bodies, right?
Yeah.
So mental nutrition is what are we feeding our minds? So ask yourself, what do you feed your mind every day? Do you feed your mind toxic media, social media,
News.
right?
Ugh.
How is that not going to affect your mental health, your mental nutrition, right?
Yeah.
So think about how you're feeding your mind. So the media diet, the social media, relationships, right? We have to curate our environment very intentionally, like we do with our physical health, right?
Yep.
How many times have we told ourselves and others, don't go to the grocery store hungry,
When you're hungry, yeah.
right? We're aware, we have this intention to say, I'm going to take these steps because I'm not always going to be at my strongest. I'm not always going to be disciplined enough, but I have to know better in terms of what is going to make me healthy,
Yeah.
right? So if you know you're going out with a very toxic group of friends over the weekend and you're going to buy into whatever narrative and whatever they end up doing, why put yourself in that environment? So we have to put up these barriers, right?
Yeah.
So when we're not at our best, we don't have to rely on pure discipline to make it through it.
Yeah.
Right.
No, totally. Totally.
So we have to curate our environment very intentionally, like we do going to the grocery store and buying foods that we bring home,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. And I think too that like this calls into the need of acceptance and adaptability, right? If something continues to show up in a way that isn't working for you, you either have to accept it the way it is, quit fighting it, quit trying to make it something it's not, or you choose to adapt and you be the one who changes, right? So you be the one to step back and say, this isn't working for me anymore. I'm not doing this. This is my boundary that is up to you to enforce. Other people are not responsible for your boundaries. But that's a talk for another day.
Yeah. I mean, you always have a choice,
You always have a choice.
right? Viktor Frankl, right?
Yes.
I'm not going to waste time trying to think of his exact quote here, but yeah, here I am thinking about it right now. So, all right. So, all right, that's the mental hygiene practices.
Yeah.
Okay. Now let's talk about mental fitness. Okay, we talk about physical fitness, right? So what do we do when we go to the gym? What's the mechanism that gets us stronger and healthier biologically? How does that work when we go to the gym?
You mean like,
We push weight.
yeah.
We stress our systems at the gym,
Yeah.
right? Right. We come home, ideally eat healthy, rest, and recover. Right. And what happens? We wake up, maybe not in a very concrete day-to-day perspective, but we wake up stronger then,
Yeah.
right? So stress isn't the enemy, avoidance is. So if we never lift a weight, never move our legs, what's that movie with the robot? Disney,
Wally.
where they stopped moving and their legs atrophied, right? So mental fitness isn't about avoiding stress, okay?
Right. Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just like physical fitness isn't about avoiding stress, right? So mental fitness is about building tolerance,
Yeah.
not avoidance, right?
Yeah.
And just like we do when we're working out, we breathe properly, right? We're grounded in
Hopefully.
technique, right? And we move.
Yeah.
And we're moving, right? So mental fitness is no different, right? We stress, again, stress isn't the enemy. We have to challenge ourselves, right? We have to stay grounded in these emotions, learn how to tolerate them, right? And live according to our values,
Yeah.
okay?
So, this is a conversation I've had with a couple of clients in the very recent past, because I don't necessarily think that people that we would just consider to be mentally healthy think about it in those terms, right? I don't think that they're thinking I am mentally healthy, right? I think they just live their life in a way that they are just the same people who I think are physically healthy, right? These paragons of physical or mental health. We were almost photobombed there. Oh, there she is.
I'm gonna go potty.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Well, I'll let him keep going.
Okay. Not sure where you left off there, but all right. We'll talk about healthy habits, which equal a healthy mind, just like healthy habits could equal a healthy body, right? Sleep, exercise, nutrition for the brain. Again, what are we inputting into our brain? Okay. or even better yet, what are we inputting into our mind? We want to get to a rhythm. We want to have a routine. Routine is our friend. Routine makes the mundane things easier and less, we spend less energy when we build habits, right? It is a tool we could use to say, I'm going to not expend energy on when and how often I'm going to brush my teeth. So we build a routine around it, right? So we no longer have to think about it, stress about it, worry about it, try to figure out when we're going to fit it in, okay? The big 21st century discussion now is this dopamine balance.
What I miss?
We're talking about healthy habits and healthy mind.
You keep
Okay.
getting out of the camera.
Okay.
He's not really camera shy. He's got a camera full of selfies.
Got a face for radio. That's what my wife says.
I do not.
Dopamine balance, which is an oversimplification of we have to have some discomfort and pain in life,
Yeah.
right? Because if we keep pressing a button, the pleasure button, right? The level of what we need to feel satisfied goes up and up and up and up and up.
Yeah.
Right. Right. We know this from many studies. Right. Rats and cocaine and dogs and meat and saliva and all those reinforcement schedules. Okay. All right. So we do need a balance. Right.
Think of it like this. You go and you grab your cell phone without even thinking about it,
Great.
and you start scrolling without even thinking about it. And every time you find something, these little machines are designed that button keeps getting pressed, that you just grab it now without even thinking about it.
Yep.
That's dopamine.
Yep. And
And your kids, they can't control it, and they shouldn't be expected to be responsible with this thing that is going to continue to reinforce that dopamine hit that they get.
yep.
So,
Yep.
watch your kids on social media and their phones and their games and all the things that they do.
Yeah. Yep. Decision fatigue. How many times have you probably said to me or thought that or did not want to make any more decisions on stuff, even when it comes to simple things like what's for dinner, right?
Or watching a movie.
Watching a movie,
I
right?
hate picking a movie with
Right.
this guy.
Right. Well, I make so many decisions throughout the day that I can't make a movie at night anymore, right? So that's decision fatigue.
No,
Right.
I
Right.
get overruled. Just like I normally do when he asks me what topic I want to do for this,
Right.
and then he changes his mind.
But look at society. How many choices do we have now
Yeah.
for things?
No,
And it's overwhelming.
It's overwhelming.
It clogs up our ability to make decisions,
yeah.
right?
I had a client, I think she had a great idea. She set a menu for herself, Monday through Friday, every single meal, breakfast, lunch, dinner. And it took that decision away, right? Because it's now Monday is pasta night, Tuesday is salad night, Wednesday is, I don't know, Italian night. I said pasta already. Whatever.
Yeah.
But you get the
Yeah.
point, right? But it made it to where now I don't have to think about, oh God, what am I going to cook for dinner now when I get home? The grocery list is now that much simpler. And so just by freeing up that one decision that she was having to make multiple times a day, she's able to now
Yeah.
relieve herself of this additional thing, because we feel it. We go to the grocery store, I'm looking at the cereal and I'm like, oh my God, why is there so much cereal?
Yes. Let's keep it simple, man.
Keep it simple.
Right.
Buy what you know you like.
Yes.
Don't-
Yes. Yes. All right. Relationships and boundaries. I just want to touch base on being able to say no, okay?
Yeah.
Boundaries, it's like an immune system of the mind, right? We have to say no, and we have to teach others how we want to be treated.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Right?
And yeah, and like that's on you. Okay? If we continue to allow something to be okay, right? We know how people teach us who they are. People show us who they are. We need to believe them. And so if we continue to allow something to be okay that we are not okay with, it's not that other person's responsibility to treat you well. Is it nice? Absolutely. Should they? Probably. Is it guaranteed? Nope. Is it up to you to decide when to hang up the phone, walk away, cut off communication? 100%. 100%. It's up to you. I love the idea of boundaries because I think that they take all the emotions and the feeling out of our decision making when it comes to people, right? Because it's just, I have this line, I know when it's been crossed, and I have an action that I take then at that point in time, right? The decision is up to me at that point in time to walk away, end the conversation, tell someone to leave, whatever that might be. It's up to me. And I don't have to get emotional and get all caught up in it and feel like I'm going to lose control because I've already decided ahead of time what this is going to look like because I know what my boundaries are.
Yep. Right. We don't, when you're really trying to eat healthy or lose weight or whatever the case may be, and you are going out to dinner, right? The wise mind would say, I'm going to anticipate and think and plan about what I'm going to eat.
Right.
Right? Right? And it's not going to waver just because the chef came up with a special, right? Right? Because a chef is not going to care about...
I like how he points at me like I'm a chef.
Yes, chef. The chef's not going to care about your body, right?
Yeah.
Okay? So, nor are we going to go out at night and all of a sudden be influenced to shoot heroin. We're not going to do that, right? I go extreme. I do.
Where are you going
to make
at
an
night?
example. You know, those dark alleys. But we have to set our boundaries, which are based on how we want to be treated and what we value,
Yeah.
right? Those should not waver, right? Based on external environmental influences.
Yeah.
Right.
So, like, if every single time he and I have a conflict, and I know you're watching this and going, you guys don't have conflict. If every time he and I have a conflict and we'll say, I curse at him, which I do not, but we'll say I curse at him. If he sticks around and engages in the fight and the back and forth, it's allowing that behavior to be okay. If he says, Elizabeth, you've lost your damn mind talking to me like that, and we're not continuing, if you keep going, I'm walking away. And I do, and then he does, that's him enforcing his boundary. That's what a boundary looks like, right? It's up to him. He has decided what is and is not okay for how people speak to him. And at that point, it's up to him with what that consequence looks like. And I say consequence not in the term of like punishment, but it's just like this natural response to the thing that just happened. Now, what do I do?
Yep.
Right?
Right. Exactly.
And I said that I'm the one that curses at him because we always expect the man to curse at the woman. So kind of going outside of the gender norms there.
Thank you for, flipping the script there.
Yeah. You know.
All right. So, mental health checkups and support.
Yeah.
All right. Let's talk real quickly about recognizing the signs of struggle. All right.
Okay.
How do you know you're struggling physically or medically? I mean, many ways, but
You know,
energy
like,
level,
yeah,
right?
lethargic, not
Yeah.
sleeping well.
Physical pain,
Yeah.
right? Something's something's changed, right, from the norm. So, what are the struggles or symptoms of mental health that may be problematic? Depression, right? Anxiety.
I think the same things. I think mental health
Yeah, yeah.
manifests in the same ways. You have the aches and pains, you have muscle tension, you have fatigue, you have poor sleep, you have irritability, all of the same things
Yeah.
that you would experience because of some sort of a physical health issue. Also, you can experience because of a mental health issue.
Right. Right. Yeah. Pretty simple.
Pretty simple.
Yeah.
Why do we separate the two?
I don't know.
I don't know. Do you not want to sit next to me? Come closer, dear.
No, it's just how I lean.
trying to,
It's
like-
my lean angle. It's what I'm used to. All right.
He's like,
What do we want to talk about? Do we
taking
want to talk
notes
about
here.
meaning, purpose, and identity, or therapy, coaching, and support systems?
Oh, that was a lot.
We got a few minutes.
We got a few minutes. I think, how about this one? How about, I like that one.
Yeah, that is a good one. All right. Tune-ups. So, what is a tune-up? Well, people go to therapy and they lots of times will go for a while consistently, right? And just like hiring a trainer, okay? You go all out, once a week, whatever it is with your trainer. You hit your goals, right? And then you kind of move on, right?
Here come the hands, guys.
Yeah,
Here
move
come the
on.
hands.
Yeah, right. Mental health is no different, right? I like to think of it as trainer for the mind, right?
Yeah.
Trainer for your mental health, right? Therapy, coaching, support systems are all good ways to improve your mental health, right? And we do have people that come in for tune-ups,
Absolutely.
right?
Absolutely. I have people that I've seen twice a week sometimes at the beginning. I have people who once a week, bi-weekly. I've got my monthly clients. They're like, hey, I just want to, they like the check-in.
Yeah.
And I have my clients that I discharge, we terminate, and I'm like, call me if you need me. And they do. They call me if they need me.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, come on back. Let's
Yeah.
do it.
Yeah. And like you said last few minutes ago, it's no different than your physical or medical health,
Yeah.
right? Let's wrap up.
Okay. Here, let's end on knowing when to ask for help, because I think this
Okay.
is really simple. I think if you've never been exposed to the mental health field, right? There's a lot of, oh my God, like people are gonna think I'm crazy. Like I used to work in a psych hospital. Like if you need help, you need help. It doesn't matter, right? It doesn't matter. We all need help. No person on this planet is absent of having gone through something. No one's exempt. So if you're kind of going back and forth about, do I talk to a therapist? Do I not? Do I want to ask for help? I don't know. Just go. Just go, because I can guarantee you that, well, I don't know that I want to guarantee you that. Probably you're going to come in contact with your therapist. They're going to sit you down. They're going to have a litany of questions that they're asking you, right? If you aren't quite sure. However, in that same vein, usually when my clients come in and sit down with me, I just let them talk.
Yeah.
A lot of times, people, you just want to share your story. So people will come in and they'll be like,
Expression.
I don't know why I'm here. I kind of am feeling this way. And I'm like, all right,
Yeah.
well, what's going on? And then 50 minutes goes by and I'm like, you just talked the whole time. And they're like, wow, I had no idea.
Well, positive self-regard and non-judgmental.
Yeah. I love talking to people.
Yeah. And no one wants to take advice or be friends with that arrogant person that says they never had any issues or don't have any issues and are perfect. No one wants to be friends with that person. No one's going to communicate with that person. No one's going to take advice from that person, right?
Like, and this is how I thought about being a therapist when I first started grad school. I thought people were going to come to me for advice on how to live their life, as if I'm an expert in how to live
On
your
their life.
I know. So fortunately, grad school very quickly broke me of that.
Right.
Thank God, because what pressure that would be if I am expected to tell people what to do in their life. Me and all my expertise of spending an hour a week with someone, and now I'm going to tell you what to do.
Yeah.
So really, I think, we need a better understanding of what therapists actually do. And what we do is we help people come to terms with, develop strategies, develop plans, go through, process, normalize the things that they're feeling so that you can make the decisions about your life. Yeah. We just kind of get to be like your guide on the way, but we're not going to tell you what to do unless it's blatantly obvious, right? If you're shooting heroin,
Yeah,
not, but he kept using this, or snorting oxy. I'm going to say, stop that.
That's where I get it from. All right. Last 3 points. Mental health is a lifelong practice, just like your physical or medical health. Right?
Yeah.
You're never done, right? You're not done eating healthy, and all of a sudden you're going to eat terribly the rest of your life, right? So you're never done. You're just evolving. You're continuing to evolve, right? And from the abstract to the concrete, one small practice each day. Consistency. How many times have we used that term when it comes to physical health and going to the gym and eating right? It's consistency. Same thing with mental health. One small thing, practice that each day, and then level up in a few weeks. Pick something else. You like that?
I like that.
Is that like a gamer term? I don't know what that is.
I was thinking of Mario eating a mushroom.
See, there you go. Mario, God, he had to bring it way back. Mario eating the mushroom. Drugs again. Anyways, all right. Thank you for
hanging out. I hope you learned something.
Yep. Have a good one.
Bye.
Bye.